This video was made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. It has been quite some time since I have shared a speed build. This time I am sharing one using the Horse Ranch expansion pack. Thank you so much to EA for providing me with this early access copy so I could take a look at this pack a little bit early and do some builds for you guys. I was planning on having these builds out earlier, but I had some microphone trouble, so I had to order a new cord, and it's been a whole ordeal. So hopefully you guys are still interested in seeing a build from me, and let me know what you guys think about the build and the pack in general, and if you guys have got it, maybe you're waiting, or maybe you don't want it. I don't know, let me know your guys' opinions. But I really had fun building with this pack. I really like the build and buy items. I think they're a lot of fun to build with. Speaking of that, I'm not going to be doing a build and buy overview, just a few builds that I did with the early access. So since it's early access, well, it's not really early access, it's more of an early build of the expansion pack. And also, speaking of that, it's not final software, so the game is out now, which is of course final software, but this version is not. So if you see anything that is a little bit different from the final release, that is why. But yeah, this is like a early build of the game, like I was saying, so it's kind of like Sims camp at home, and I'm very grateful that the Sims team included me in this, especially since I haven't been uploading as frequently, really at all. And yeah, I get messages on Twitter and comments from you guys, you know, asking if I'm okay, or if everything, you know, just kind of what's going on. But I have mentioned this before. Basically, my husband went back to work, and so I've been taking care of our son, and I'm also pregnant, and I'm due in less than 5 weeks now. And so when my son naps, I nap because I'm exhausted. But I'm pretty much exhausted throughout my whole pregnancy, and that's how it was when I was pregnant with my son too. And yeah, so things should get back to normal-ish maybe around October. My son is supposed to start preschool then, and so I'll have a little bit more time. Of course, I'll have a baby, but babies do sleep a lot. So we'll see how much I'll want to sleep when she's sleeping. But anyways, I've really been missing making builds for you guys, so I'm hoping that I can get that kind of organized and worked out by then. That's my plan. But yeah, over the next like month or so, I'm not really too worried about making videos because I'm going to be having a baby, so I need to focus on that. But anyways, in the past month or so that I haven't uploaded, we have also moved. We are back in California, which I am so happy about. I don't know if I've mentioned this in previous videos before, but I really missed California. So I'm very happy to be back here. It's yeah, definitely my favorite state. I've been to a lot of them, and I've lived in a few, and so I think I have some perspective. But yeah, I love it, and so I'm very happy to be back, and very happy that we were able to move earlier in my pregnancy. I mean, it wasn't that early, it was only a month ago, so I was still like 7 months pregnant. But if I were to try to do that now, it would be a lot harder because I can barely like bend over or like pick anything up from the ground, so I would not be very helpful. But anyways, yeah, enough about all that, but I wanted to catch you guys up on kind of what's been going on and everything. But anyways, so this house ends up having only 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I believe if I forget anything, it's because, well, I built this like a couple weeks ago now, I think. And yeah, I just haven't had the chance to share it like I mentioned. But yeah, the floor plan actually came together pretty easily. I do change a few things on the first level because when I went to go decorate it, I realized I really didn't have room for a dining space, and I felt like that was pretty necessary. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way the floor plan turned out. I think it's really cute and it's cozy, and I wanted this home to feel like a rustic sort of country home that has some like updates. Basically, I feel like this family is in the process of fixing this home up, so it's still really rustic. It has a lot of wood paneling that's worn. It has a lot of like worn details, but I think they like some of those features. But I think they installed new windows because like the window pane and like the windowsill and all of like the window itself looks really clean and new looking, like the paint is like perfect. So I was thinking those are brand new. But the family really likes that rustic, like country look, which of course goes along with this pack perfectly because a lot of the items are very traditional and rustic looking. But I love this couch and this chair that came in this pack. I think they're so cute and I think they have great colors. I really wish again though that we would get a love seat. Like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like we get all of these amazing sofas and like great chairs and sometimes great love seats, but we don't ever get like full complete sets. Like it would be so much more just usable in a lot of different homes to have a complete set with the, you know, the full-size couch, the love seat, and the chair. And I probably sound like a broken record because I mention this like every time a pack is released, but it's frustrating to me. But yeah, I also really like this chair, by the way, that I put by the fireplace. That is new. I think the like hide texture is pretty cool and interesting. And it's something that we don't have in other, I think from other packs. So yeah, I thought that looks really good and I just love the way that living room came together. But anyways, here is when I'm realizing that I have this awkward space over here with the staircase and I didn't really need it to be the way it was, and I could open it up and have a space for a dining table, and it just worked out so much better this way. So on the first floor, there's this dining space over here. There's a living room that I already decorated. There's like a nook for the kitchen. There's an office and a bathroom. So there's a lot of stuff going on downstairs, which I really, yeah, just like. I especially like this kitchen. I think it just turned out so cute. And this brick flooring, you guys, oh my goodness, it is beautiful. I love the texture and the colors, and I think it's just super fun and rustic looking. And I haven't got a chance to test it out in Brindleton Bay, but I'm wondering if it might look good over in the dock area because there's this really nice rustic brick around the docks, but we don't have a matching one. This one doesn't match, I know that for certain, but it might kind of pass as a matching brick, if you guys get what I mean. So I think it might work. I'm gonna have to try it out, but anyways, yeah, I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this pack. I haven't done any gameplay, but I mean, that's pretty usual. I've done like a little bit of gameplay just to like take the screenshots of this build because I wanted there to be a horse and I wanted there to be like a family so you guys could see like the family that I had in mind. And by the way, I'll upload the builds that I have completed to the gallery as soon as possible. I've done 3 builds with just base game and this expansion pack. So yeah, I will hurry up and get them all edited and voiceovered as soon as I can. Now that I have a working microphone, it's possible. And also, speaking of the audio, I have my fan going because I'm hot and I need it to do this voiceover. But I've done some testing to edit out the fan noise, so hopefully I can get it somewhat decent, and hopefully the audio doesn't sound too like what's that word? It's like a tin can sound when you edit it too much. Do you guys know what I mean? So I'm hoping that it won't sound too strange or too off, but I know the fan can be quite annoying, so I'll try my best to get that out. But if you can still hear it, I apologize. I can't do this voiceover without the fan blowing on me. And I have it down low, so I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, here you can see some of the other furniture, like this painting, the side table, and the rustic wood textures that come in this pack. I think are really just nice and different, and just some of the best wood textures. Like, I don't know how usable they're going to be across other packs. I think the flooring will be, because the flooring has a good variety between rustic textures and more smooth, clean looking textures, so I think that'll be pretty versatile. But some of the other furniture doesn't have the clean textures, so I wish they would have been a little bit more consistent with that across the different items, because I think some of it was kind of hard to do like a whole modern look with this pack, even though they had some modern textures and elements here and there, but it's definitely not the main focus of the pack. But yeah, over here is the downstairs bathroom, which I think turned out pretty nice. It's pretty simple, just a toilet and a sink and a few decorations, but I do like it. And I also really like that cow skull, by the way, that I put above the dining table. I think that is a really cool decoration. But yeah, and as for the world, I think the world is nice. It has some pretty areas, and I don't know, maybe it's just me. Let me know if you guys agree, but I really haven't got that excited about a world. I really can't remember which pack. Like, I feel like I like certain things about them, but like the whole world doesn't just like get me excited to build. which is kind of unfortunate. I'm hoping that we get a new world soon that will, I don't know, do that for me. And let me know if you guys agree. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm being picky, but I just can't think of the, like, maybe Hinford on Bagley was the last one. So it's a beautiful world. But even then the coloring was off, like had this weird green tint to it. Which did they fix? Because I feel like I don't see that. It might be my Reshade. I don't know, but we'll see. Yeah, over here I'm decorating the upstairs landing with a side table and a few decorations. There you may have noticed we have new swatches to those books, which is something we desperately needed, and I'm so thankful for. Like, they look so good. I love the variety. I'm like so happy about them. Over here is the upstairs bathroom. I'm just trying to figure out where to put the shower. I wanted to use that one, but then I decided maybe I wanted a tub, and I didn't want to do a shower and a tub, so I just used this base game shower tub combo. And I think I changed the color of it here in just a moment because the pink really matched nothing. I don't really know why I chose pink to begin with. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking there, but I changed it to green just because it felt more earthy, and this house has like a lot more earthy tones and some green. I mean, it's not like a super green interior color scheme. I think I just used it a few times, but yeah, over here is going to be the master bedroom. So for the master bedroom, it pretty much matches the rest of the house, kind of. A little bit more yellow in here though. I thought this bed swatch was really pretty, and I thought it just worked really nicely with this painting and the rug, and I liked putting the rocking chair in here and just a few different decorations basically just to make it feel cozy and lived in. But of course this is base game and one pack, so it's a little bit limited, but I think I made it feel complete. I don't know, I'm excited for you guys to see my other builds because the other builds are so different. Like, I was so happy that I was able to create 3 different looking builds with this pack, even though the items are pretty much consistent, like in style. Like, sometimes we get packs where it's like half and half. You'll have like full-on modern furniture with traditional furniture, you know, it's kind of like half and half. This one's pretty traditional. I mean, there's some modern windows, there's some modern textures, but it's all pretty rustic and traditional. So yeah, this kids room, by the way, you guys, I love. It's so fun in my opinion with this colorful rug. I just tried to make it look like playful, and I just imagined twins lived in here. I created 2 twin boys, but of course you could have whatever kids you would like in here, but I just imagined 2 kind of rambunctious little boys who are energetic and outgoing and maybe a little bit mischievous, but they're not, you know, they don't get in serious trouble. They're just kind of like maybe hop fences where they shouldn't and kind of stuff like that. But I thought their room was really cute, so I was really happy with the way that turned out. Here I just added a chimney and just adding a few touches here on the exterior with like the foundation, and I really wanted to add a horse barn. So I saw this family as an up-and-coming horse family. Basically, they invested in this old farmhouse. They've been fixing it up when they can. You know, they haven't invested a lot of money in fixing up every detail, but they added new windows, maybe because, I don't know, I feel like that's a practical thing to fix up first, because if you have old windows, then your heating might be escaping and all that kind of stuff. So they fixed those up first, and then yeah, they bought a horse, and so they've been training their horse and practicing. They don't have a lot of land because this is all they could afford, so there's no like big horse training track. There's like a few different ones of those that came in this pack, but they do have a nice little barn, and they have a nice little trailer, and I think this area just turned out to be so cute. I love the stable items. Like, I think this bed actually is pretty cute. I kind of struggled with where to put it over here in this little barn, but I end up, I think, making it look like it belonged there. And I also changed the colors of the barn, by the way, because right now it's pretty brown, and I wanted to go with a lighter color scheme like the rest of the house couldn't, just to make it feel more cohesive and everything. So I switched it up here in just a moment. But I think this area is just so nice, and I love taking the screenshots with the horses. Let me know how horses are, by the way. Are they fun to play with? Is it something you guys had wanted for a long time? Because I feel like that's one of those things that I heard, not all the time, but every now and then, was people asking for horses in the game. It's not something I ever particularly wanted, like necessarily. It's not something I didn't want either, but it wasn't like something I ever really thought about. So yeah, I'm curious to know how well they are to play with basically. But anyways, here I'm doing some terrain paint, and I believe it was this build where all of my terrain paint disappeared. So I had to redo it. So if it looks different at any point, that's why. It's such an annoying glitch in the game when you come back in and there's all your terrain paint missing. And sometimes it's like a lot of tedious hard work to do terrain paint. Like if you really do a lot of detail and, you know, different patterns and textures, and it can be so frustrating to have to redo. Thankfully this was like a bunch of dirt, but still I didn't want to have to redo it. Anyways, over here in the corral, I'm just adding some grass and different decorations, going through the live edit objects, going through the different build and buy objects, just trying to find things that make sense and look cool and just add detail and character and basically all of that kind of stuff. And I think this area just, like I said, turned out so nice. Like I really enjoyed making it. I need to make like a full-on farm now that we have horses, cows, and llamas, but I'm gonna have to disguise the cow and llama shed because they're so distinctly like Hemford on Bagley, you know, it's just cottage living, which I like the style, but I wish that they would have tied those animals to something a little bit more versatile, just like a water bucket or something, or like a feeding trough or something that was a little bit more disguisable or easy to use in different types of builds. Because yeah, I would like to do different styles of farms with cows and llamas, but of course there are tricks to make it work, but I wish I didn't have to do that. Here I'm switching up the colors like I mentioned, so it's not drastically different, it's just a little bit lighter, and I think it just matches the home a little bit better this way. And yeah, in here I do add a woodworking table and I add a decoration with a saddle on it, so I just figured this was a special saddle that they wanted to keep out of the rain or the weather. There is another saddle in the corral that I found in the live edit objects that I thought was pretty cool to use, so I thought that turned out pretty nice. But I wanted to make this area a little bit more functional, so I thought a woodworking table was a good way to do that. And then I add some feeding troughs. This feeding trough that I put here in this room didn't function at all. I could not get my sim to fill it, but thankfully after a little bit of maneuvering, and I think it was the grass basically that I put in here that was blocking it, because I moved it around and I got it to work. But there I realized that there was that trunk and I was like, I have to use this, so I put it at the foot of the bed. I thought that was so cute. And yeah, here I'm just continuing finding different decorations, trying to fill in this barn, trying to make it feel not empty or awkward. I end up moving this shelf that I have by the door leading into this room. I end up placing it here instead of having it outside, and just put another one of these shelves. Even though I used one inside, I figured it couldn't hurt to have another one. So maybe it was also this hay that was blocking it. I'm not sure. I think I ended up deleting those. So yeah, you guys will see in the screenshots, but there's the saddle that I was talking about. I thought that was a really cool decoration to have in there. And there's also a water trough outside. I was going to use the new barbecuer, but I ended up not using it. But here I'm just doing some more terrain paint, adding some grass, and making the landscaping kind of feel a little bit more complete. And I added some sunflowers. The landscaping in this build was actually kind of tough for me because I really didn't see it as a home that would have proper like trimmed hedges and like well taken care of flowers, and I just don't think this is a top priority for this family. Maybe in the future, but right now at this moment they're working on training their horse and getting that all established. But I wanted to have some greenery, so I think I made it work, but I wanted it to look a little bit more just I guess unkept or unmanicured, whatever the word for that is. So I tried my best. Hopefully you guys will like that, but it definitely was a struggle for me. And I really liked putting those rocking chairs on the front porch. Those cushions are so cute. I'm so happy they came with pillows, and like the couch has so many pillows, and it just makes the furniture so much better in my opinion, just so much more lived in and cozy, and I just love it. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this build. I'm gonna add some grass around, continue with this landscaping like I talked about, and add some final few details, but this is pretty much it for the build. Like I said, I do have two other ones with the Horse Ranch expansion pack and base game only, so those will be coming out very soon. And then I'll also be doing one specifically using Horse Ranch with all of my other packs. So I'm just trying to decide what I should build. So if you guys have any ideas, definitely let me know. But yeah, like I said, I'm just going to add the final few details and we're on to the screenshot. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys do enjoy the screenshot. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.
I took a little walk just to see the ships coming in. The sun rose up right above the highway. Black, blue, red, yellow, golden skyway. It's like the day that you jump into the wind. I can't go back down to that water again. These old muddy shoes keep on walking the streets. Someone's bride buying Egyptian sheets. The window display of some little store in town. And there's my reflection against the morning light. Hello, Mr. Ghost, Mr. Skeleton White. You better comb your hair, you better wipe that George Clay off your brow. You better stand up straight, man, these people hardly recognize you now. Lord, carry me like a sailing ship. Comfort me before I slip around the dark side of the moon. All this spinning around hurts my head. I just sit here lonesome for you. There's a million things I would rather do instead. I know it takes a lot to change a worried mind, and I know it takes a year to see the warm summertime. But I'm made of nails, man, made of tombstone and tall, tall trees. But a tombstone fades and the nails will rust,